there's 91% of you that doesn't subscribe to this channel.
Maybe what you should do is subscribe to Press to Play now.
Shower
How many
thoughts
sides
that
does a piece of paper have?
Okay.
Ooh.
I'll give you a second.
Two.
Two?
Two.
No.
Actually,
that sound tingle my brain.
yeah. It hit something in my ear that haven't been hit before.
Oh,
Do it
yeah.
again, do it again, do it again, do
how
it
many
again.
sides
Do it again.
does a piece of paper have? I'll
Two.
give you a second.
It's 6, right? We've seen it.
No.
Two. Ooh.
It's actually 6.
Yeah.
You don't realize it until you start stacking it. There's a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of things in
yeah.
life that take us by surprise. A lot of things that aren't really as they seem. Like elephants being herbivores. They'd be a lot more scary if they were carnivores.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Parents told you not to
actually.
talk to strangers. Yet, here we are. When you're talking or conversing with someone online, a lot of times you don't really know that much about them. The nice thing about not knowing anyone's age on the internet is that you can pretty much get in an argument with an 8-year-old and leave feeling
Yes!
superior.
I love to argue with an
Boost can be
8-year-old.
exactly what you need some days. A lot of us could use a boost of those happy chemicals to make our lives a lot easier. When you experience depression, your brain refuses to produce, let's call it, a happy hormone, as a reward for your brain cells doing what they're supposed to do. And, as a result, your cells go on strike, refusing to work for no pay, and the whole system comes crashing down, benefiting absolutely nobody involved. Sounds strikingly familiar.
Oh yeah, it hits home.
History repeats. And speaking of history, it must have been really awkward being the first historian to have ever existed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can just
Oh.
imagine that conversation happening.
Oh
It's
yeah.
So, what are you doing? Just writing down everything that's been happening.
I mean, that's just like writing a diary,
But
right?
the way we view history is now changing. At some point, the internet will be older than all humans alive, and future
Ooh.
generations will have tons of high-quality video footage of so many extinct animals,
Ooh.
old civilizations,
Oh, I don't like that.
and where Santa used to live before the Arctic melted and
No.
disappeared.
See, that's why,
man.
guys,
Maybe
take
you
care
feel
of your
like
planet.
Ah.
But remember, the number of people older than you never increases. It only decreases.
Yes.
It's like a lifelong race to be ranked number 1.
Yes, I've thought
Except
about
the
this
prize for
before.
winning is just death.
Oh.
And out of the billions of people who have ever lived, just one of them suffered the most agonizing death of us all. So far. But
Damn.
maybe that happened hundreds of years ago. Until trains were invented in 1804, every human who ever lived that experienced a speed upwards of 56 miles per hour was falling to their death.
Ah.
Normally, the floor is what stops gravity from killing us.
Jeez.
But if we get too far away from it, gravity uses the floor to kill us.
Whoa.
Life is short, so they say. But life is only short if you love your life. Otherwise, it is very, very painfully long. It's like playing a game. In this case, it'd be more painful to lose the game by 1 point than by 100 points. You know what I mean?
It's kind of true though.
But enough with being morbid.
Wait. It's kind of true though. Imagine if Barcelona lose to Real Madrid 2-1 in the 90th minute.
Nah. Losing 100 nil to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, like, if it's 100-0, you'd be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Nah, but all of those Real Madrid fans are gonna rub it every day, man. You lose 100 and nil.
Yeah, but either way, you're getting robbed anyway.
But enough with being morbid. Good dreams are basically a free trial of a life you could have been living.
Damn.
Anyway, if
Damn.
there are an infinite number of universes, then our dreams aren't actually dreams. They're clips and previews from another universe that we can see into.
Ooh.
But our universe isn't so bad. Being able to go to sleep without worrying that you'll get eaten by some random animal is probably the most privileged thing about our modern world.
True.
It
Yeah.
wasn't always like that, so we should really appreciate it. We don't really appreciate a lot of free things in life, like
Yeah.
taking your health for granted all the time. Until you're sick. Only then do you actually care. Oh, and
Oh, you know what? What I appreciate the most? When you're sick and you have stuffed nose on the only one side and you can't breathe properly. Nah, I appreciate that, you know?
until you're sick.
Be
Only
grateful.
then do you actually care. Oh, and email.
Soppy twat.
We take our own planet for granted.
Email. What
almost
about
daily.
email?
National parks are a perpetual reminder of what the world would look like if it weren't for humans.
Oh.
Oh.
Ironic how we enjoy them so much,
Oh.
isn't it? I just blinked, and most of the time, we barely even notice how often we blink. Characters in first-person video games never blink, if
Oi.
you think about it. It doesn't feel like much.
Yeah?
It's just one of those manual
Never thought about that
processes that
before.
our bodies do for us that we just forget about. We really take for granted how smooth the insides of our eyelids are. Imagine if they were like sandpaper.
Oh no!
Us humans can barely live with one another without trying to kill each other. So the fact that people can convince themselves that meeting aliens would go smoothly is nothing short of pure hopium. If they got upset with us, they'd just
If
throw
I
another
speak.
one of those big rocks at Earth, and we'd be toast. And speaking of big rocks, the asteroid that ended the dinosaurs' reign on Earth was technically the highest ratio of killing birds to one stone in Earth's
Sure. Yeah.
From all
That's
the
Good
dry
one,
land
good one,
to
good
all
one,
the
good
life
one.
in Earth's oceans, 99% of everything was wiped out in an instant. We are part of that remaining 1%. I liked that quote so much, I put it on a hoodie. You can get it here.
Oh.
Still,
You know what?
That's good. That's good.
Fair play.
That's actually good.
Fair play.
We're gonna keep that in.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that in the fair play.
Still, the deep ocean is terrifying. People will swim in ocean at the beaches, even though there are definitely many corpses in it. People will not swim in a pool with a corpse in it, though. So, therefore, as weird as it sounds,
Yeah, no, but in
humans all
the
have a
ocean, we don't
corpse-to-water
know.
ratio that is acceptable for them to swim in.
Yeah.
You can see why people don't like oceans now, huh? Water makes fabric a darker shade even though water is clear. I guess I probably should have taken my clothes off before I got in the shower.
Hold on a second. What? Hold on a second. Oh.
Yeah.
I guess I probably should have taken my clothes off before I got in the shower. Anyway, after I shower, I normally brush my teeth, and I'm super grateful to be able to do that.
Wait.
Most animals
You brush your teeth after you shower, not while you're showering?
Nah, you're dumb. You're dumb.
No.
You're dumb.
have never seen their own teeth, let alone be able to clean them. As much as you'd like to believe it, wisdom teeth aren't useless. They're actually the reason some oral surgeons are able to make a living.
Oh yeah.
It's
Okay.
quite a career.
If you're not
It's
thinking
weird.
like that.
We choose our careers when we're worst informed about what they're actually like. Some people will work the same job for their entire life, wondering what life could have been like if they had taken a slightly different path. Who knows? You could have ended up like Jeff Bezos and had more money than brain cells.
Shut up.
Literally. 200
Yeah,
billion is a
Yeah, he
massive
doesn't have
number.
any brain cells.
There's a certain point in everyone's life where how high can you count changes from a matter of knowledge to a matter of will.
Oh.
And I wouldn't attempt this one. Counting to 200 billion would take you over 6,000 years.
Is
Our
it?
brains just aren't capable of even comprehending things that
Maybe you
large.
should do the challenge.
It's strong, but not the strongest. Yes, the brain did indeed name itself, but it also recognized that it named itself and was surprised when it realized that. So
Damn,
it
No, you just
Damn,
fucked
nah,
my
nah,
brain.
nah, nah,
You
you-
just fucked my brain.
Yeah, I just had an experience just now. Literally just now. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So are we actually as smart as we think we are? We can't see into the future. Unfortunately, we aren't psychic. But always remember, psychics that don't accept walk-in appointments aren't real psychics. They'd be expecting them, right? But although we can't see the future, we do remember the important events that happened in our
Oh,
lives
yeah.
in the past.
Scammers.
Some stranger somewhere
Yeah.
still remembers you because you were kind to them when no one else was.
Aw.
You've made an impact in their life. You made them feel something no one else could. However, almost universally, you can instantaneously stress out any person just by shouting, "Hey, catch."
Oh god.
Oh, I've expected that. Yes. I didn't get scammed.
That was uncalled for, and I'm sorry for that.
Fuck
You
Getting
you.
hit in the
apologize,
face by a
apologize,
ball
man.
at that speed would most definitely have you in the hospital. The hospital is simultaneously the building where most people leave without entering, and also the building where most people enter without leaving. We're born against our will.
Wait, I need some time to think about that.
Leave without entering.
Hospital
Let's
is
rewind it a little
simultaneously
bit.
the building where most people leave without entering, and also the building where most people enter without leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby's born.
Babies enter.
It doesn't physically walk in, enter.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We're born against our will.
Yeah.
We also die against our will.
Oh.
But regardless, we're here. We're alive.
Mm-hmm.
Kids don't really enjoy sleeping. It's always seemed like a hassle to get them to finally go down. It's probably because they haven't gotten bored of life yet. They're young and may be here against their will, but there's still so much to see, so much to do. Kids are all different, but they all have one thing in common. They're brutally honest. The easiest way to tell if you're obese is to ask a kid to draw you.
Oh, no,
If they
no,
draw
no,
your
no.
stick figure with a line
Yeah,
through the body,
That's right.
however, if they draw you with a circle, I got some bad news for you.
You're fat.
You can be underweight or you can be overweight, but you can't be weight. We all change as we age. We grow and we mature. This can be seen in many ways. There was a moment where your mom or dad picked you up as a baby and put you down, only to never pick you up again.
Whoa,
You
yeah.
got
Oh,
big, you grew up.
nah.
If you're still decently young, the odds are that you still haven't met the majority of people who you'll befriend in life. And those are the same people who will inevitably be at your funeral when the lights go out one last time. As sad as it sounds, most guys will receive their first bunch of flowers at their funeral.
Dang.
Go buy your friend a flower.
Is it really?
I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
I mean,
If you
I've
happen to
received
be
flowers.
older, however,
Have you received flowers before?
No, I mean, no.
I have.
You have.
Yeah, my girlfriend as well.
See? Okay, guys, I think I'm going to leave now.
if you happen to be older, however, and you go to college at an old enough age, the odds of you taking a history class that are simply life events you experienced is actually quite high. If you
Fair.
happen to be in English class, however, I wish you the best of luck. I understand how English can be difficult to learn.
Yeah.
I've always said this. Though only one letter apart, creation and cremation are two very opposite things. And somehow the old you is actually your younger self. It can sometimes seem like it's completely backwards. It reminds me of passwords. Passwords have probably stopped more people from getting into their own accounts than hackers,
True.
having the
Yeah.
opposite effect that it was intended to have. Protecting your belongings is important, even if you're protecting yourself from you, apparently.
Whoa.
Funny enough, there are locks in a police locker room to prevent theft. These are the people we call when our houses get broken into, and yet they
Never think about that.
Never think
But
about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
can't even stop themselves from stealing from each other.
Oh.
If a cop gets caught stealing, does he, by law, have to arrest himself? Hopefully they'd be
mean,
on house arrest, because people
But
who
it
were
won't happen,
sentenced to
though.
house arrest in
don't
2020
care.
really lucked out timing-wise, because we all were too. Luck would have been on your side, and for most, luck is hard to come by. Gambling is only considered an addiction if you're bad at it. Otherwise, you're considered a lucky degenerate.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
At least you're rich, though. But if someone tells you you look like $1 million, don't get an ego. It's less and less of a compliment every year because of inflation.
Ooh,
Damn.
Plenty
Damn.
of people have struck it rich based purely off of coincidence and luck. Sometimes it doesn't take that much. A lot of Google's revenue comes from people that are just too lazy to type .com after the end of their search. Coincidences can either make us look really, really good or really, really bad. For example, a guy walking around with 1 crowbar is a lot more suspicious than a guy walking around with 3 crowbars.
Oh, yeah.
School zones have a very specific speed that you need to be driving at. Drive too slow and you're really creepy. But drive too fast and you start wondering why the speed bumps are screaming. Okay, sorry. That was
Jesus.
a pretty distasteful joke.
Jeez. I like
It's
that
a
one.
guilty pleasure.
Give me more.
We all have guilty pleasures.
Yes.
But to be honest, every pleasure is a guilty pleasure if you're anxious enough. Anxiety sucks. We've all experienced it at some point or another, and it can really get in the way of so many things in life. Your work, your free time, even your relationships. It doesn't matter how many fish there are in the sea
Should
if
fish?
you don't know how to fish. You know,
Oh.
Yeah.
the night before you have a day off is like 100 times better than the actual day
yes,
off itself,
yes,
because you're
yes.
already worrying about the next day when you have to go back.
Yes.
Anxiety gets in the way of everything. But no matter how anxious or lonely you get, just know that somewhere out there, There's a lonely piece of paper that's been in the same printer tray for years and years on end, simply because new paper is always loaded on top of it before the rest runs out.
Ooh, that's kind of true, you know?
And everything has a purpose. Except that piece of paper. So don't let it get you down. You've survived every battle you've gone through. You're undefeated. In the end, though,
motivational and
we're
that.
all losers in the race of time.
Okay then.
Time
Losers.
is limited, so make the most of it. Me personally, I'll be seeing if I can make a slinky go down an escalator forever. It
Oh,
might be a waste of time.
Yeah!
Actually, it is a waste of time. But I'll be happy. And that's all that matters.
sure. You do you,
I think.
innit? Some of them fucks my head.
Yep, some of them fucks my asshole.
Go subscribe and hopefully you can...
Get a shower.
Yes,
And get some sour thoughts.
please.
Yes.
Go get a shower.
Your stinky ass needs some shower.